Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy back again with a video. I hope you guys enjoy. Today we're going to do something a little bit different with that NRL fantasy video. We're going to start with my team and how we performed over the weekend for the last week of fantasy, and then we're going to go through the team list of the finals for the weekend and my tips for the weekend. So stay tuned for the end of the video if you want to see my tips on that. If you just want to see my fantasy, it's only going to be the first part of the video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get straight into it. Bang. So this is how the team performed over the weekend. So our score over the weekend for round 25 was 757. Our overall score is 20,164. Our overall rank was 15,654, and round 25 rank was 25,000. So we didn't have the best week of the last week anyway. A lot of our big boys were injured in that, and yeah, just didn't play. So obviously this is what last week of fantasy is like. Some boys can grab up ranks in those last couple of weeks. We had that little period where we were just like shuttling up that board, you know, we were looking really good, but it just wasn't happening for us. But anyway, this is how the team performed. So Teddy was 64 and Drinkwater was 64, both playing really good footy in their last week of footy. Nico Hines with 104 on captain, really good game from him. The Hammer with 15 points. This was the Hammer, you know, it is what it is. We had to trade him out because we had to put him in because Tunga, he was rested. Unfortunately, we didn't have a replacement for Suwali'i, so yeah, that sucks for that one. Luke Keary with 34 to end the year, not too bad, and Cam Munster with 75 to end the year, not too bad, especially after last week where he was in low 20s, so that definitely a better game from him. Tohu Harris with 45, Dave Fafita with 34, Cam Murray with 1 point getting knocked out early in that game, Papali'i with 41, and Payne Haas with 51 to end the year. Harry Grant with 80, and pretty much our bench was sitting mostly 30s except for Adam Dewey with 50 points. So, and Fanua Bolle with 37, not too bad in their last game where they got smacked. Those two boys must do everything they can do to get those Tigers back to where they need to be. So overall thoughts of the season, basically, you know, your boy just struggled in a couple of areas. Obviously, we held on to a couple of players that we shouldn't have. We traded in a couple of players that may not worked. But, you know, it is what it is. This is like the sort of stuff that at the time you think that you need to do, and then later on it just doesn't come off. Like holding on to Adam Fanua-Blake, Rocco Berry and all that for as long as I did, and not jumping on someone like I had Tungo in the squad, but like a Taylor May a little bit earlier. You know, I was calling out Taylor May is going to be amazing. I just didn't jump on him, unfortunately. And yeah, it kind of pushed me to the side there. And a couple of other big decisions that I should have made a little bit earlier, but we learned this. We're going to be on for next year. It is what it is. Anyway, let's get straight into the finals chat. So first game here, finals, we got the Panthers versus the Eels, and the Panthers, they line up pretty much top to bottom. Nathan Cleary is back in. Jerome Luai is still there now. He played a couple of weeks ago and then had last week off. James Fisher-Harris is back in. Pretty much their full strength squad is in, ready for the final series. And with the Parramatta Eels, it's pretty much their full strength squad after the last couple of weeks. No one's really out that's battered and bruised. Everyone's been playing really well the last couple of weeks. To be honest, in this game, I'm swaying a little bit towards the Parramatta Eels. I think the Eels can do it, definitely. I think the Panthers are going to take a little bit time to get into the contest. They're still going to be fucking amazing in that. I just think the Eels, we've proven the last game where they were at full strength and the Eels had it over the top of them for, 20 minutes and stuff before Cleary did that spear tackle and it blew out like crazy. So we were seeing the Eels take over that game before that. So I'm going to go Eels 1-12. It's a bit of a weird one, but I think Eels 1-12 in this one. Next game, we've got the Storm versus the Raiders, and the Storm pretty much top to bottom as best as they could. Obviously, no Papi in that. We got Jerome Hughes back in the squad. Hopefully, he's feeling well off injury. Harry Grant lining up at hooker. Brendan Smith sitting on the bench at 14. Big Nelson Sofa Solomona at number 10. You know, he's at a powerhouse, that kind of like he's going to go at people. And I'm excited to see how he goes at the Raiders in this one, especially after the season he's had. With the Raiders, pretty much top to bottom as well. Pretty much naming their best squad that they can. Tom Starling still at 14. Zach Wolford, who has been playing pretty decently actually lately, at that number 9. Adam Elliott and Elliot Whitehead and Hudson Young with those second rowers. Joseph Tarpanet and Josh Papali'i is our front rowers. Jack White and Fogarty and halves. Like, pretty much the Raiders are going to be looking really good in this one, and the Raiders always play really good against the Melbourne Storm. If the Storm get over on the Raiders here, like it's going to be a fucking tough and gritty game. I'm going to go Storm 1-12, but I do have this like little feeling that the Raiders might be able to get it done, which would be crazy. When was the last time we saw a Storm team get bounced out in the round 1 finals? Second last game for the weekend, we have the Sharks and the Cowboys. And the Sharkies coming into this round, we got Talakai still playing at number 4. I'm not sure what the extent of his injury was before. We'll have to see how he goes. Obviously, Blake Brayley at number 9, Dale Finucane starting 13, which is Cam McGinnis would be in that 15 on that bench role. William Kennedy has been named too, so that's a massive in for the Sharks. Obviously been resting all the way up till with that injury. Now he's playing in the finals. I'm excited to see how William Kennedy will play. I have thought, though, that Lockie Miller has been really, really good for them lately. So Lockie, like next year, maybe a shot, or maybe he'll get another shot in another squad. Lockie Miller looks like a good piece to have. With the Cowboys, they pretty much ended the year with a thrashing over the baby Panthers, if you want to call them. But they did look really good. Like defensively, they were all very sound, as they have been. Pretty much this is their full strength squad. So we got Ruben Cotter actually starting at number 10. This is what we've been waiting for. Obviously, he was starting on the bench because of injury for the season and that. And I think Todd Payton was really just waiting him off and that until the final series. Then he'll play him full, like 100%. He's going to go out there and really rip and tear. I feel like I'm going to go to Cowboys 1-12. I think the Cowboys are good enough to get this one done. Especially if you look back at that last game, I think they were away from home. Jason Tamalolo crossed that try, got taken back, and it was so controversial. Like I thought it was a try 100%, and if that happened, that would have changed that game, but it happened the opposite way. And then the Cowboys ended up losing 2 tries there. So I think the Cowboys are good enough to get this done. I think their defense is looking nice. And I think the Sharkies, they're a very risky team as well. Their defense is so good, but they will throw the ball around in their 20, cause some areas. So will the Cowboys too. So I don't know. There's such like similar teams. They're both very expansive attacking teams, but really gritty defensive teams. So I'm going to go Cowboys 1-12 in this one. And last game of the weekend, probably one of the biggest games of the weekend, to be honest. We have the Roosters versus the Rabbitohs. And obviously the Roosters, no Joey Manu is the biggest story out of this game. Everything else is pretty much top to bottom. They look like a really, really tough team to verse into your final series. But without Joey Manu, that's going to be a really tough test for the Roosters there to defend that edge. They got Suoli'i that may go into that wing, but then again, Drew Hutchison fills in that center role that Joey Manu would have been playing. So it's going to be an interesting game for the Roosters as they've just changed their whole game plan to bring Joey in on the ball as much as possible. Maybe now that everything switches around, it'd just be Tedesco just hunting through the middle the way he used to. Luke Keary and all those sort of boys shifting short side players and stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see with the Rabbits, top to bottom. This is probably their best lineup that they can put out on the field, in my opinion. I definitely like Campbell Graham and Isaiah Tass as their centre roles. Tane Milne in that wing role. I do like that Isaac Thompson though, but Tane Milne's not too bad there. Obviously, the big one's Latrell. I think the energy that they came out with the Roosters last week to put it on Latrell, it's whether they can back it up and do it exactly again this week. A lot of that too, like Joey Manu made a couple of really crucial tackles too. As soon as like Latrell was pushing on that edge, now you don't have Joey Manu to worry about on that side. So do expect to see that side to get peppered a lot more and Alex Johnston to get a lot more opportunities this week. So I'm going to go the Rabbits 1-12. I think the Rabbits are good enough to get this done. Unfortunately with the Roosters, I think Joey Manu is a big part to that squad. And I think him being out, and especially the way they've changed their game plan where Joey Manu's a floating center, I think it's going to really rearrange him, and the Rabbits are just going to have a really good day on that left-hand side. So get excited for that. So yeah, guys, pretty much another year done of footy. It's been a crazy year of footy. I loved it. Thank you so much for every one of you that have tuned in to every episode this week or this year of Fantasy Footy. Next year, we're going to definitely do Fantasy Footy. To end this year, we're probably just going to do a weekly video or every couple of week video of the finals and who I think are going to win the finals. Get excited for that. If you enjoy this sort of stuff, like and subscribe. Appreciate all the comments and the support out there. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, have a good weekend. Let's go.